We are, of course, talking about that big controversy, the New York Times report that says that the Indian government purchased the Pegasus software from Israel as part of a defense deal in 2017. The Congress and the opposition has launched an all-out attack, saying the buck stops with the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi just made a statement. He was speaking about Indo-Israeli relations, marking 30 years of India's relationship with Israel, but made no mention of today's big revelations by the New York Times. Joining us now, we have from the Congress, National Spokesperson of the Congress, Supriya Srinath. I got it right this time round, Supriya. Ranveer Singh Patania, spokesperson of the BJP, and Manju Seth, former diplomat, also joining us. Supriya Srinath, were you expecting that the Prime Minister would raise this matter? A coincidence, really, unfortunate perhaps for the government that Prime Minister Modi scheduled to speak on Indo-Israeli relations on a day when the New York Times has come out with what they're saying are stunning revelations.
Quite frankly, Sarah, I was equally surprised to see the Prime Minister at that event and obviously not make a mention. I wasn't expecting him to talk either. But I think what we are discussing is extremely serious here. And I'll tell you the 2 or 3 counts on which they are serious. Please bear with me for 30 seconds. The first count on which they are serious is the revelation itself. The New York Times essentially saying that the government of India purchased Pegasus, the military-grade spyware, in 2017 in a package including weapons and intelligence gear and all of that for about $2 billion. This is taxpayers' money. This was then deployed to snoop upon elected representatives, people associated with the Chief Justice of India, Election Commissioner, constitutional positions. Official Secrets Act was breached. This is treason. So first, you bought the software, you use the taxpayers' money. This amounts to treason, is an issue with national security. You're playing around with national security. And then, of course, the more important thing, that the government deceived Parliament because the IT Minister and the Home Minister and the Defense Minister told Parliament there's nothing like this. You also misled the Supreme Court of India because through a sworn affidavit in the Supreme Court of India, the government has very categorically said that it has not done anything like this. It was represented by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and it unequivocally denied any and all of the allegations made against the government. I'm quoting from the affidavit. So there are various issues through how the democracy was hijacked before elections. You played around, you snooped on public representatives, you defied the Official Secrets Act. This amounts to treason. You used the taxpayers' money to snoop upon your own people. And may I dare say, you actually perhaps went ahead and breached the modesty of women, because this is the military-grade software. Once it's in my phone, it captures my camera, my voice, and everything. This phone can be anywhere in the house, and being a woman, I could be susceptible to far more graver things than anything else. And I also think that the government of the day has to answer questions now. Because the Supreme Court has set up a committee.
These are very, very grave allegations. Will the government respond?
You see, let me first of all question the credibility of the report published in the New York Times. We have a considered stand. We have taken a considered stand on the Parliament. We have a considered stand in the Supreme Court also. Now the Supreme Court is also seized of the matter, but I question the timing of the report. I question the contents of the report, and I question the volley of allegations and counter allegations raised by the opposition. Treason. Does anybody understand the meaning of treason? Is this treason?
Do you understand the breaching of the Official Secrets Act?
Absolutely.
Ms. Srinath, let him finish and I'll come back to you. Ms. Srinath, let him finish and I'll come back to you.
You are just trying to make hay out of the sunshines in New York Times. This is what you're going to do. Please don't trying to explore issues just out of thin air. Because the elections are around the corner in Uttar Pradesh, because elections are around the corner in Uttarakhand, because in all the 5 poll-bound states, all the opposition Mahagathbandhan is all set to fall flat, and now you're trying to pull out, we could say, rabbits out of air. I question it.
Mr. Patania, you believe that the New York Times will file a report based on assembly elections in India?
Yes, that's it. I question the credibility of the report. How? What is the basis of this report?
But the government can surely shut up, the government could surely shut up the opposition by speaking up on this matter, sir. The Prime Minister had a speech today talking about Indo-Israeli relations, ironically on the same day when this report came out.
My respectful submission, with all respect and humility, the way the tirade and the volley of allegations and counter-allegations that been raised by the opposition and a senior leader like Rahul Gandhi, the Congress official spokesperson, Mr. Randeep Singh. How is it treason? How is it treason?
I'll tell you.
Please be meaningful. Please be comprehensive. Please be emancipative. Let's debate it. We have admitted in this
Let's debate it.
that we wanted
Sarah, can I please come in?
Sure.
to discuss
Hold
and
on.
debate.
All right.
We wanted a panel of issues.
All right, Mr. Patania. Supriya Srinath, go ahead.
Please come in. I just have to tell Mr. Patania one thing. Sarah is a journalist and I have been a journalist. And if we were ever found with a cabinet paper, we breached the Official Secrets Act, which means we can be tried for treason, which is exactly what your government did. You were snooping around elected representatives like Rahul Gandhi ji and his staff, the former Prime Minister H.D. Devagowda, Kumaraswamy, your own ministers. You were snooping around constitutional positions, people who occupied those positions, the Chief Justice of India, no less, people associated with him, the Election Commissioner. What are you even talking about? And you want me to justify what treason is? This is treason. And I also want to say one thing here. आप तो फिलिप कोटलर अवार्ड को दुनिया भर में दिखाते हैं.
Mr. Patania, I'll come back to you. Let Ms. Srinath speak, then I'll come back to you. Mr. Patania, 1 second.
Mr. Patania, I know you're frustrated. I know you're defending the indefensible. Please bear with me.
All right, since both of you are talking over each other, let me go across to Manju Seth. Manju Seth, you've been a diplomat. Really a coincidence that Prime Minister Modi was scheduled to speak today. Is it too much to expect, or is it only to be expected that the Prime Minister will stick to his, after all he is the Prime Minister, he will stick to his written speech on this issue and only stick to that? Or should one have expected that the Prime Minister, being the Prime Minister of the country, speak up on these very grave allegations raised not once but again in the New York Times?
Normally such deals, as you're well aware, are always confidential, and already they've submitted, the government has submitted something in the Supreme Court already, and I think the PM will stick by the government position, and he will not at this point of time, even though he was speaking on India-Israel relations, he will stick to his report now, to his prepared speech normally. Sarah.
All right. Mr. Patania, I just want to wind up with you, because the government has said in an affidavit in Parliament that it has not bought a Pegasus, but the Israeli ambassador to India has said that the Israeli government only sells this, Israel only sells this kind of software to governments.
You see, I stick to our stand that the fundamental rights in India are most sacrosanct for our government. No fundamental right of any individual whatsoever, whosoever he may be, has ever been transgressed or violated upon. We stick to our stand, and no unwanted, the cases, some media person, some political person, no, absolutely not. We dispute and deny all such allegations, and at the same time, we again condemn. With due respect, we seek to condemn a sitting Prime Minister and a ruling government being accused of treason. Let us find a precedent in the 67
Oh yes, this is treason. You are snooping upon your own people, women included. What are you talking about? You're
on account of a report. On
account
account of
what you have done.
Mr. Patania, you only have issue with the fact that the opposition and the Congress has used the word treason, but you have no issue with them asking you to answer on this matter? That the government, do you believe that the government should respond to the public about these issues raised?
You see, Sarah, we have a considered stand on it, and we have
What is the
responded
stand? I would like to know. What is the stand? Lying to Parliament and lying to Supreme Court. That's your stand. You've misled both.
Ms. Srinath, he's saying the stand is what the government has said in Parliament and what the government has said in its affidavit in the Supreme Court.
Ms. Srinath, please let him finish. The government has misled India's Parliament. and it has misled
Where
India's
you-
highest
where you
court.
Fair
said
enough,
this
but,
government should be
but
very
fair
careful.
enough. But Mr.
for lying
Patania
as well.
says that is the
Please.
government's stand.
Please. Please.
Mr. Patania is lying as much as this government is lying.
Okay. Please,
Ms.
Because
Srinath,
this government has chosen to
Madam
mislead
Chair, allow me
Parliament,
to
Okay.
complete.
mislead
Let him
Parliament
finish.
and the Supreme
We have a
Court.
considered version on the issue.
They
have
do
a
not
considered
have
version
an
of
answer for the
the
New
issue.
York Times report.
No
They will
unwanted
question its
spying.
credibility.
Srinath, please let
The
him
Supreme
finish.
Court
unwanted
will award
snoop
the
case.
Ms. Srinath,
credibility.
please
No
let him
unwanted
finish.
snoop
Otherwise,
case.
we'll have to wind up this discussion.
No,
Go
he's
ahead.
lying.
We will,
I don't
we
think he
will
can lie
not,
on national
we will
TV.
not like, we will not like, we
You
will not
snoop
like
upon
to go
women,
against
you snoop
the
upon
letter
your
as
own
well as the
ministers,
spirit of the
MPs,
constitution,
former
the
prime
letter as well as the
ministers,
spirit of the
sitting
law.
Lok Sabha members,
All right,
No
we
unwanted,
are-
Madam
India,
Secretary, please allow me
the
to
Chief
speak.
Election Commissioner.
All right,
who
we're
is
not,
there.
we're not being able to hear
Something
either
that
of
we
our
welcome.
panelists.
We welcome
Thank you
to
all.
come and debate.
Thank you all for joining us.